Hello everyone, my name is Evgeny, this is Race Someday channel, and I'm still building my Civic, and one day it will be a race car. In my previous video about the electrical power column from Prius, I told you that I'm going to use it because I want to stay with the manual steering rack. It's a standard steering rack which comes on the most basic Civics with D-series engine, and the good thing about it that it's light and also there is no fluid, so the less chance that something will leak. But at the same time there is a small issue with it, and I will show you it in a few seconds. So currently the distance is fine between me and the wheel, but the angle is not. So I will put some spacers here, then it will be lower and the angle will be okay. But the thing I wanted to show is a little bit different, so we will turn it to the lock. And now we will count how many turns from lock to lock. So 1, 2, and 3, and almost 4. And it's totally fine for the city driving, but for the track I want to have something quicker, and that's why I already ordered the steering rack with the better steering ratio. But unfortunately it will be manufactured only in the end of May, so I need to wait 2 months. But it doesn't mean that I will do nothing while I'm waiting for the part. So my plan is to disassemble the steering rack and subframe, do all preparations, and also I'm going to reinforce the subframe. So the front subframe and actually all the parts, almost all the parts from the front suspension are disassembled now. The camber arms are still installed, but I will also remove it because I don't need them. They are the standard one without any possibility to adjust the camber, but I was quite surprised that the ball joint installed here is from hard brace. Yeah, but anyway, I need something else, and I already have something in my mind, but I need to order it maybe next month. But I already got my new control arms. They actually also the standard control arms, but with small difference. These two have the holes to mount the front sway bar, and these two don't have it. Unfortunately, Civics with the D13 engine and maybe with some D15 engines are not supposed to be equipped with the front sway bar, and yeah, of course with the rear also. And these two are actually in a good condition, and even the bushings they have are in a good shape. There is no damage or anything, so I will keep them and install it as it is. The steering rack, I will change only the internal parts, which I already ordered, but I need to wait maybe a month or even 2, because there are no parts in stock in Europe or in the UK, so I have to wait until it will be manufactured. The current brakes I have are the smallest possible ones. These are 240 millimeters disc brakes with really tiny brake caliper. The setup which I'm going to use is well known in Honda world. I will not tell it right now, but I think you will see it in this video or maybe in the next video. But for now I'm going to just clean everything and yeah, prepare for some parts which will arrive soon. When I just disassembled the front subframe from the Civic, I thought, okay, it looks pretty good, pretty solid, especially in comparison with the subframe which was on the Civic EF. And I didn't really want to do so much work on it, but then I've started to clean everything and found that there is a lot of rust, especially in the original welding spots. So I thought, okay, I will do it. Added a few welding spots here and there.
2,000 years later.
So the subframe is welded and painted, and I think instead of letting it sit around and get in the way, I will just install it right now. Hopefully it will be still possible to install the steering rack afterwards. At least it was possible with my previous Civic EF. But this time I will install it using rigid collars. The thing is that from the factory the subframe actually has some room to move, and I guess it's designed that way to allow adjustment in case of suspension damage, so you can bring everything back to factory specs. But in theory it also means the subframe can shift under high loads, so that's why these collars exist. They just prevent movement and make the wall structure more solid. And to make the subframe even more solid, I will install this bar which came on some of the most powerful Civics like Civic EG6, Civic MB with B18 engine, and maybe on some other Hondas, but to be honest, I haven't seen this thing installed on any other Civics in my life. And yeah, now it's quite rare, but I found one for quite cheap on the eBay, and yeah, now I have it. So just an example, the hole in the subframe is like 5 millimeters bigger than the bolt, and yeah, there is a lot of play here. And with this thing there is almost no movement possible. So the subframe is installed. The rigid collar kit from blocks came without any installation manual, so I found one in the internet, but it seems it was copied from some other Civics or no idea, from some other cars. So the pictures were right, but the description was completely incorrect, so I had to find right places by myself. But fortunately everything is fine, everything installed. And now I just need to wait for the steering rack. Fortunately, I just got the email from Tegiva, and the steering rack will be ready to be sent in the end of this month. But anyway, I have some other things to do. Now Tila and me are working on the wiring harness. I decided to stay with the stock wiring harness. We will just cut the wires which we don't need. But actually we already found some wires which were cutted before us, and yeah, now we need to find why they were cut and do we need some of them or not. Yeah, for example here there are 4 wires were cutted before. I guess some of them were used for the third brake light. And right now Tila is printing the new dashboard. It will be printed with the 3D printer, then I will do a mold, and then I will use it to make the carbon fiber part. And actually I just remembered that there will be some additional wiring harness, but it will be separate from the main part, and yeah, I will use it to control turn signals, lights, windshield heating, electrical power steering, and charging the cameras, maybe something else. After several hours of cutting wires, this is how much I ended up removing. Most of it related to this thing, the control element for the turn signals, headlights and wipers. I'm not going to use it because of the another steering column, so I guess there is a possibility to install it, but I'm going to use the separate controls for all this thing. And all of this, the box full of wires, the control element, and also there is a hood release. All of this weigh almost 5 kilos, which is not bad. Right now the wiring is temporarily installed, but I'll take it out one more time later and try to reduce it even further. There is still a loom for the cluster. And I'm planning to use a different solution, not the standard cluster, but I'm actually not really decided yet if I should keep this just as a backup in case if my solution will not work. That's something I still need to think about. But the goal for today is to finally install the Prius steering column. Like in its final position. So let's modify the steering column a little bit more, and hopefully I will not come back to it again. And it's finally here. Yeah, it took me hours to find the right position, but now it's almost perfect. I will show you a little bit later the sitting position. And there is also a new shifter here. The linkage is a little bit different. Now there is only one arm going to the gearbox, and previously there was another one connected to the engine. Yeah, we'll see how it works, but it should be fine, especially with stiff engine mounts, because the engine and gearbox theoretically will not move that much and it will not affect the shifting. Yeah, but I'm not sure in this, but anytime I can install the old short shifter and use it. And now let me show you what Tilo printed for me. Yeah, it's a new dashboard panel. So it's just 3D printed part, and basically we needed to see if it will fit, and also I will use it to make a mold, which later I will use to make a carbon fiber part. And actually this dashboard panel is universal, so theoretically we can use it on some other cars. And now let me jump in the car and show you the sitting position. So the angle of the column is perfect. There is an issue with the alignment of the steering wheel and the dashboard, but it will be easy to fix when there will be a carbon fiber part. I will just cut it from the one side and move a little. And as I already mentioned before, there will be no controls under the steering wheel for the headlights, wipers and turn signals. Everything will move here to some additional control panel, and also this panel will include the power supply switches for the steering column, the windshield heating, the camera charging. Also there will be kill switch and maybe some other stuff. And I really like the sitting position here. I'm sitting so low. There is so much headroom here. Previously it wasn't that comfortable in my Civic EF. I was almost hitting the tubes with the helmet, but now it feels much better. Yeah, there is still plenty of work to do, but I'm really looking forward to complete this project. And I think it's enough for this video. I really hope that soon I will get all the parts for the front suspension, then I will move to the rear suspension, and there is still plenty of things to do, but not enough time and budget, of course. But if everything will go as planned, hopefully in the end of this year, in October maybe, I will visit some of the tracks just to do some testing. And that's the end of today's video. I really want to say a huge thanks to you for watching this video, for watching other videos from my channel. I really appreciate it, and don't forget to push the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and see you next time.